and welcome. I'm so excited to go over this Get Regulated with Me exercise for today. This is our second exercise. If you missed the first Get Regulated with Me, go back and watch that video if you want a little more understanding of what is regulation, what is dysregulation. For the remainder of this series, I want these videos to be short and sweet and right to the exercise with the resource that I'm giving you. So let's get right to it. For this video, we're going to do a engaging your five senses practice. So let me just say, this is going to be a really good exercise to jot down some notes because I'm going to give you a lot of different examples for your five senses. It is not meant for you to do every single one of these in one sitting. It's also like you don't even have to do five different things using awakening all five of your senses in order to regulate your nervous system. You can focus on one of your senses and start to regulate the nervous system. So I don't want this to overwhelm you, but instead I want you to look at all of the available options that you have and then test a few out, see which ones feel really good. And also notice, I'm not going to go into detail about which of these are best for when you're in shutdown mode or when you're in fight flight mode. I want to just give you just the ballpark range of the different things that you can do. If you have questions, please send me a message on there and I will leave more detail, but that can make this a much longer video. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with sight. And so what I want to recommend first and foremost is anytime if you're doing sight, smell, hearing, touch, or taste, what can be really helpful is if you start to focus on how you're breathing. And this can even be, this is going to be a lot of our regulation tools is a different breathing technique. But if you start to have intentional slow breathing in through your nose and out through your nose or your mouth, and you can practice this with me right now. This first exercise we can do together. So just go ahead and start to notice when you start to breathe in, can you elongate that breath? And then just breathe out. Letting the exhale be a little longer than the inhale. And then you'll start to notice like, okay, I am intentionally more aware of how I'm breathing. I'm intentionally changing the pace of my breath, the rhythm of my breath. And that is going to start to help you be more present with each of these exercises. So that is something I recommend doing first before you try any of these exercises out is combine the breath with all of these. Okay, so continue doing that breathing. And the first thing we're going to do with sight is wherever you're seated, just go ahead and let your eyes wander off to the left without moving your head. Just let your eyes wander to the left and just focus in on something. And then to the right. And then up. And then down. You still breathing? Continue to breathe. And then just do that one more time where you're just looking to the left, and looking to the right, looking up, and you're looking down. That's one exercise you could do for sight. And just notice how you feel right now with continuing to breathe. What you're doing is you're showing your nervous system that there isn't a threat in our environment. We are using our sight to show us that we're safe. There's no threat. Something else you can do with sight is focus on one thing in your environment. So maybe you're outside. I love to start my day outside for multiple reasons. It helps with our circadian rhythm and hormones. It's very soothing to our nervous systems. And so if you are outside and you're starting your day with this, maybe you're looking at a tree or a bird and really looking at the colors of the tree, the colors of the bird. If you're inside, maybe you're looking at a painting, looking at all the different colors, and you're just noticing the textures, the colors, just really looking at your site. Again, combining the breathing, slow, steady, intentional breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And what you'll start to notice is you feel a more calm, present feeling, regulation. So that's sight. We're going to now move to smell. What I love to do, and I actually have some right here. Yeah. Essential oils can be really good to smell. And this is going to just aliven your senses. So just smelling something like an essential oil, maybe it's burning. I actually have mine burning in the background, or not burning, but on in the background. Smelling essential oils, smelling flowers. If you're cooking, smelling that just home cooking gives you that feel good feeling sometimes, right? That's why it can be very calming if you're zoomed in and you're focused in on something that is smell. So again, combining smell, if you're choosing that as your regulation tool, smell, breathing in and then breathing out. And just do that for a couple of rounds, maybe a full minute. That'll be about 6 breaths. And then just notice how you feel. And of course, with any of these, the longer you do, the more regulated you're going to feel. But sometimes if we're crunched for time, we just feel a little off and we want to feel more regulated. These exercises can help us drop back into our body, out of our mind, out of our busy mind, and just get us more present in the moment. Okay. The next one I want to go over is hearing. And this is one of my favorite practices to do, actually. And I learned this from one of my mentors. And it's an exercise where you just, I wake up first thing in the morning, I'll go outside, and I just notice how many different things I can hear. And I try to hear them all at once. So sometimes we hear cars driving, right, on the street. I might hear a bird chirping. Someone might be starting to do the lawn. I'm just making some stuff up right now. You might hear, when I do this exercise inside, refrigerator running, Wi-Fi on, birds chirping, and you just quiet the mind by zooming in to everything that you're hearing, and you try to hear them all at once while you are breathing. So continuing that breath. So you can even try that one now. We can do that one together. You just, again, focus on your breath and just notice what you hear in the background. It can be really soothing. So, okay, we're going to move on. The next part of hearing is you can listen to, I love binaural beats. It is different frequencies of music that help to calm your nervous system down. So you can listen to relaxing music. A sound bath can be really relaxing. You can throw that up on YouTube. Different sound baths. You can, I'm sure, find one on Spotify also. And there's so many, it has to do with frequencies also. The frequency of the sound bath is actually cleaning and clearing stress and there's all kinds of benefits. I don't know all of the benefits, but if you're interested in listening to something like that, look it up. It can just be really relaxing and regulating to your nervous system. Okay, let's move on to touch. So this can feel really good too. Touching, like if you have a pet at home, when you're feeling a little anxious, you're feeling a little, maybe you're more like, I have a lot to do, but I just can't do it. I can't take action. You might be more on like a freeze response. Touching things can be really good. Touching an ice cube can get you out of that state where you're waking up your senses. Like I said, touching, petting a dog, a pet, folding clothes, or getting into some action can be really good if you're in that state of like, I have so much to do, but I don't know where to get started, or I feel overwhelmed. Then just start somewhere. Unload the dishwasher, fold the clothes, touch the fabrics, whenever you are folding the clothes. Feeling that touch is going to help to regulate the body. Rubbing your hands together is really, really regulating. So if you want to try that with me right now, rubbing the hands, focusing again on your breathing. And then just pause and feel the sensations in your hands and continue to breathe. And that can feel just really soothing. Another thing is like touching, if you touch your body. So this is one of my favorites to do. Touching your arms, like it's like almost like you're giving yourself a hug, right? You can actually give yourself a hug. And another one that I love is just placing two hands on my neck, combined with breathing. And this can feel really good. Like say you're working at the computer all day, you just feel like you're in this state of like, I need a break doing this, like placing your hands on your neck, focusing on your breathing for a few minutes can help get you into a more regulated state. Sometimes if you feel like you're working and you feel like that frustration, going for a quick walk outside can just be really good too, but I'm not going to go over that today. Okay, so we talked about touch, taking a shower too, like feeling the water on your skin. The point here, if you haven't noticed already, is with each of these, you're very present with what you are doing with your one of your senses. If it's a smell, if it's a touch, if it's what you're seeing, if it's what you're hearing, you're very present. That is what helps to regulate the body because when we're in a dysregulated state, our body thinks that there is danger and a threat in our environment and we're trying to find safety. And so you can come back to presence. Your body is going to get the idea that we're not in any dangerous situation and it's going to calm down. So the last one I'm going to go over is taste. And so, this can be really why it's comforting to have a warm cup of tea or coffee in the morning. A lot of us just are used to that. It's cozy, it's comforting because it's warm. And so having that and then drinking it, but really being present with it. So maybe you are combining 3 of these exercises where you wake up, you're focusing on your breathing, you make your cup of tea, you sit down or coffee, you sit down and you are hearing the noises outside, you're sipping your tea and really tasting it fully. It's not just an unconscious action. You're like, wow, this is so good. This is so comforting. And you're hearing, you're breathing. That right there, if you do that for 5 minutes, can be such a beautiful way to start your day because you're filling your cup up as you're drinking your cup of coffee or tea. So something like that can be really good. And even you can take this a step further when you're eating your meals. This is mindful eating. If you are really tasting your food, seeing the colors, really enjoying it rather than making it an unconscious activity, something that we do 3 times a day, sometimes more if we're having snacks, where it's just like we're just shoveling food down our throat. We can actually start to really be present with it. And this can help if someone has a pattern of overeating and overindulging. This can help you slow down and actually be more in tune with, okay, like I feel full, I feel good. So that's taste. I'm sure there can be some other ones, I'm sure, but like chewing a piece of gum or something like that. But really, I want you to test some of these out and just see which ones sounds interesting to you. And let me know in the comments after you tested them out. Maybe you did some of the exercises with me now. I know you were kind of rushed. But give yourself a good 5 minutes and test some of these out. Stay with one for 5 minutes and see if you notice a difference. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, okay, I think that's all that I want to cover today. I hope everyone is doing great. And I will talk with you guys soon. We'll have another video coming up next week with another Get Regulated with Me exercise. Have a great day.